say that there's one theory, and it's but a theory, that it's the Shakespearean folios down there. All of that is every bit as rich and wonderful and magical and amazing as a chest full of diamonds and rubies.
A leak from inside the Curse of Oak Island production may have just revealed something the public was never supposed to see. Not another rusted coin, not another fragment of rotten wood, but something buried deep beneath the island. Something that could change the entire mystery forever. For more than 200 years, treasure hunters, historians, and explorers have tried to uncover what lies beneath Oak Island's infamous money pit. Millions of dollars have vanished into the search. Massive drilling machines have ripped through the ground. Entire expeditions have failed. And yet the deeper they dig, the stranger the island becomes. But now, according to shocking insider information connected to Season 13, the team may have uncovered evidence of something far more disturbing than hidden treasure. A structure no one expected to find. Clues pointing to a massive underground system stretching far beneath the island. And a discovery so unsettling that some researchers are now asking a terrifying question. What if Oak Island was never meant to be opened? Tonight we're diving into the leaked discoveries, the secret chamber hidden deep underground, and the evidence that could completely rewrite the Oak Island mystery forever. And before we uncover what insiders claim was found beneath the island, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications, because the mysteries we explore here only get darker from this point forward. Let's take a closer look. Just when it seemed like the mystery of Oak Island could not get any stranger, a wave of new insider leaks has surfaced, and what they allegedly reveal about Season 13 could completely change everything people thought they knew about the island. According to sources connected to the production, several discoveries were kept hidden from the public, along with serious tensions happening behind the scenes. If these reports are true, the implications could shake the entire Oak Island community and completely alter the search for the truth. What started as quiet rumors has now exploded into something much bigger. Insiders claim the crew uncovered evidence so shocking that it caused panic during filming. Reports mention restricted excavation zones, sudden shutdowns, and a mysterious artifact that may force historians to rethink the entire timeline of Oak Island itself. Some are already calling Season 13 the most explosive chapter in the show's history. And here is where things become truly unbelievable. The discovery was reportedly not a blurry reading or a technical malfunction. It was described as a remarkably clear scan. What appeared on the imaging equipment was not debris, timber, or natural rock formations. It was a perfectly shaped rectangular chamber built by human hands. The alleged dimensions are around 10 feet wide and 15 feet long, buried more than 130 feet below the surface. To put that into perspective, it would be like concealing a hidden room beneath a 13-story building. Constructing something like this centuries ago, without modern machinery, would have required enormous manpower, years of labor, and engineering skills far beyond what most historians believed possible. But the most disturbing part is this: a structure at that depth should not still exist. The underground pressure exceeds 60 pounds per square inch, powerful enough to crush ordinary wooden supports in a relatively short time. Yet somehow, this chamber appears almost perfectly preserved. For decades, treasure hunters focused all their attention on the famous money pit, chasing collapsed tunnels, broken wood, and flooded shafts. Meanwhile, if these leaks are accurate, the real target may have been sitting nearby the entire time, untouched and carefully hidden. Some historians now suspect the original builders intentionally designed false tunnels and traps, to mislead anyone searching for the true location. But the chamber itself may not even be the biggest revelation. According to the leaked sonar data, the scans detected at least 3 large rectangular objects resting on the chamber floor. Their density readings were reportedly extremely high, consistent with heavy metal-filled containers. Some believe they could be treasure chests containing gold or silver. Others think the contents may be something far more important and far more dangerous. Each object is believed to measure roughly 4 feet long and 2 feet wide, matching the classic dimensions associated with historical treasure chests. If these reports are genuine, then the team is no longer searching for scattered artifacts or isolated coins. They may be standing on the edge of a sealed vault that has remained hidden for centuries. Insiders claim the production crew immediately moved to keep the location secret while heavy excavation equipment was quietly brought into place. But then the story took an even stranger turn. Researchers examining the scans reportedly discovered that the chamber walls were lined with a thin metallic layer. That metal coating may explain why the structure survived while so much else underground collapsed long ago. Experts believe the lining could consist of a rare corrosion-resistant alloy or a carefully engineered blend of metals. If true, it would suggest the builders possessed advanced knowledge of preservation and structural engineering far ahead of their era. Some investigators now believe the chamber was deliberately sealed to protect whatever was placed inside and preserve it for hundreds of years. Core samples taken from nearby soil allegedly contained microscopic traces of the same metallic material, adding even more credibility to the claim. This may not simply be a buried treasure chamber. It could be a perfectly preserved time capsule. And what researchers discovered next may completely destroy the accepted history of Oak Island, because early analysis of the metallic traces reportedly identified a lead-silver alloy with a highly unusual isotopic signature. To most people, that may not sound important, but to historians, it raised immediate alarm bells. Why? Because this exact type of alloy has long been associated with advanced Roman engineering. The Romans reportedly used similar materials in aqueduct systems, protective containers, important archives, and even elite burial chambers designed to survive for centuries. The process required sophisticated smelting methods that were incredibly expensive and difficult to reproduce. In fact, many historians believe those techniques vanished after the fall of Rome and did not reappear in Europe until the late Middle Ages. And now, according to these leaks, traces of that same material may have been discovered beneath Oak Island. This alleged discovery is now forcing researchers to take a second look at some of Oak Island's strangest artifacts. Remember the Roman pilum, the ancient spearhead uncovered in earlier seasons, or the mysterious coin that a few experts connected to the Roman Empire. Back then, skeptics brushed those finds aside as random collector items or objects accidentally mixed into later deposits. The theories were debated for years, but they never gained serious traction. Now, everything may be changing, because a hidden underground chamber lined with what appears to be a Roman-style alloy suddenly gives those earlier discoveries a completely different meaning. Instead of isolated accidents, they may have been warning signs pointing towards something much bigger buried beneath the island all along. If these leaks are accurate, it could suggest that a highly organized operation once took place on Oak Island using knowledge linked to Roman-era engineering, centuries before Columbus ever crossed the Atlantic. And that possibility is absolutely mind-blowing. According to mainstream history, civilizations with Roman-level technology should never have reached North America. Every history book repeats the same narrative. But the deeper researchers look into these discoveries, the harder it becomes to ignore the growing pattern. This no longer looks like the story of a few lost sailors drifting off course. What we are talking about here appears to involve large-scale underground construction, careful planning, advanced engineering, and the coordination of skilled workers over long periods of time. Some researchers now believe hidden maritime trade routes may have existed long before the official age of exploration, secretly linking distant civilizations across oceans centuries earlier than anyone realized. One theory gaining attention among insiders claims that secret groups connected to the early origins of the Knights Templar may have inherited lost Roman knowledge after the empire collapsed. According to this idea, ancient relics, sacred documents, and valuable treasures were secretly transported across the Atlantic and hidden in isolated locations to protect them from war, invasion, or destruction. Others believe the chamber could hold historical records so explosive they would challenge accepted history itself. And if the structure truly dates back that far, this may become one of the most important archaeological discoveries of the modern era. The idea that advanced engineering techniques survived through hidden societies and were later used to construct secret vaults would completely rewrite major parts of world history. But here is the truly unsettling thought. What if the chamber was never meant to be opened? Some insiders now suspect the vault may contain hidden safeguards, flood tunnels, collapse mechanisms, or traps designed to destroy the chamber the moment intruders get too close. If that theory is true, then Oak Island may not simply contain buried treasure. It could contain the most dangerous Templar trap ever built, and the most shocking part of all may be where the chamber was found. According to recent leaks, the structure is not located directly beneath the original money pit. Instead, it reportedly sits far away from the main excavation zone, positioned precisely along a hidden geometric point connected to Nolan's cross. That detail changes everything. For years, researchers have debated whether Nolan's cross was simply a random arrangement of giant stones or something far more intentional. Some investigators believe the formation acts like a massive directional map, designed to guide certain people toward hidden underground locations. The leaked coordinates now appear to line up with one of the cross's overlooked marker points, leading some to believe the entire island was carefully designed like an enormous puzzle. Every tunnel, every flood shaft, every buried stone, possibly part of a massive engineered system meant to hide the true destination from anyone who could not understand the code. And that has sparked another disturbing theory among people connected to the investigation. What if this chamber is not even the final vault? Some now believe it could be a decoy chamber, a ceremonial passage, or even a sacred tomb created to test whoever discovers it. Suddenly, the elaborate flood tunnels and deadly traps make far more sense if they were protecting something far more important than gold or jewels. Because according to legend, the Knights Templar were believed to possess some of Christianity's most mysterious relics, objects like the Holy Grail or even the Ark of the Covenant. And if such artifacts were ever hidden, they would not simply be thrown into an ordinary pit underground. They would be sealed inside a sacred chamber, protected with extraordinary engineering, hidden symbols, and layers of deception designed to survive for centuries. Whatever was built beneath Oak Island appears to have been created using the highest level of engineering knowledge available at the time. And that is exactly why this alleged Roman-style vault fits the mystery so perfectly. Because what may be hidden inside is not necessarily piles of gold or ordinary treasure chests. Some researchers now believe the chamber could contain sacred containers designed to protect artifacts of enormous spiritual and historical importance. In other words, the true treasure of Oak Island may not be wealth at all. It could be ancient relics and lost records powerful enough to completely reshape what we believe about early exploration, secret civilizations, and forgotten history. What makes this theory even more fascinating is how closely it connects to clues from Season 12 involving the Knights of Malta, an order many historians consider successors to the Knights Templar. According to some researchers, after the Templars were officially dissolved in the 1300s, portions of their knowledge, relics, and hidden wealth may have been secretly transferred to allied groups that continued operating in the shadows. And now, with this newly leaked chamber, many believe the pieces of the puzzle are finally starting to align. Oak Island itself may have been designed like a giant mechanism. Nolan's cross could be the key, and the hidden chamber might only be the first lock in a much larger system protecting the true vault. That possibility changes the meaning of the famous money pit entirely. Instead of being the real target, it may have been intentionally created as a sacrificial decoy, a collapsing maze built to distract treasure hunters for centuries, while the actual chamber remained safely hidden nearby. The scale of planning behind something like that is almost impossible to imagine. It would mean a strategy was set into motion hundreds of years ago and worked flawlessly for generations. And perhaps the strangest part of all is that it succeeded. For more than 2 centuries, explorers dug endlessly in the wrong location. Fortunes disappeared. Lives were lost in dangerous flood tunnels. Entire companies went bankrupt, chasing clues buried in mud and collapsing shafts. Meanwhile, if the leaks are true, the lead silver chamber remained untouched in total darkness the entire time. And if this vault turns out to be only a decoy or an entry point into something even larger, then the real treasure may still lie deeper beneath the island. Now, a growing army of historians, engineers, code breakers, and independent researchers is racing to solve the mystery before the next major excavation begins. Because entering the chamber may be the most dangerous phase of the entire search. But this time, the team has an advantage unlike anything they had before: the power of global collaboration. What many people do not realize is that the Oak Island investigation no longer belongs only to the small group seen on television. Behind the scenes, thousands of researchers and fans from around the world have quietly become part of the hunt. For years, online communities have been studying historical records, satellite imagery, old maps, and hidden symbols connected to the island. Some independent investigators have uncovered strange links between medieval navigation routes, mysterious carvings, and rumors of transatlantic voyages long before Columbus. Others have recreated the island's layout using advanced mapping software and discovered geometric alignments that resemble designs associated with secret societies. As more people contribute ideas and evidence, the mystery of Oak Island has evolved into something much larger than a simple treasure hunt. It has become one of the biggest crowd-driven historical investigations in modern history, and the next breakthrough could finally expose a truth buried for centuries. What was once dismissed as internet speculation is now beginning to influence the real investigation itself. Every time the team uncovers a clue on the island, thousands of online researchers immediately begin analyzing it from every angle. Reddit discussions, research forums, and deep dive communities examine every frame of footage with astonishing detail. These viewers are no longer just watching the mystery unfold. They are actively helping solve it. And surprisingly, some of these independent investigators are using tools and techniques powerful enough to rival the technology available on the island itself. They study satellite scans, searching for hidden geometric patterns invisible from ground level. They compare ancient maps with modern surveys in remarkable detail. Some even investigate medieval banking records, shipping manifests, and Templar documents with the dedication of professional historians. Other researchers focus on geological surveys, looking for signs of hidden underground cavities or unnatural soil disturbances that could point toward forgotten construction deep below the surface. Some investigate ancient trade routes, comparing old European port records with unexplained references to Atlantic crossings centuries before official history says they occurred. This worldwide collaboration has transformed Oak Island into a massive puzzle where thousands of people contribute tiny pieces that together may reveal the full picture. Even some of the show's biggest theories reportedly began within these online communities. Take the famous French line theory connecting Nolan's Cross to landmarks in Europe. According to insiders, ideas like that were heavily explored by fans long before they reached mainstream attention. The same thing happened with theories about the swamp containing hidden secrets. Online communities discussed that possibility years before major excavations began there. These are not casual viewers anymore. They have become a global intelligence network united by one mystery. But perhaps the most surprising detail is this. People close to the production claim the research team quietly monitors many of these online discussions. Think about that for a second. A theory posted by a history enthusiast in Ohio or a geometry researcher in Australia could potentially influence future investigations on Oak Island itself. In fact, discussions about a hidden Roman-style chamber reportedly appeared in obscure fan forums years before the recent leaks pushed the idea back into the spotlight, which means the search may not be as straightforward as it appears on television. Instead, it works more like a massive feedback loop. The team discovers something on the island. Fans around the world analyze the evidence and generate new theories. Then the strongest ideas may quietly shape future searches and excavations. The fellowship on screen may be doing the digging, but the invisible blueprint behind the investigation is increasingly being built by thousands of minds across the globe. And when the team finally breaks through that mysterious lead silver barrier, the discovery may not belong only to the people standing on Oak Island. It may belong to everyone who helped piece together the mystery from behind a computer screen thousands of miles away. But even now, one disturbing question continues to haunt researchers. What if the treasure itself was never the real secret? What if it was only a distraction hiding something far more powerful or far more dangerous beneath the island? Share your thoughts below and make sure to subscribe so you do not miss the next major breakthrough in the Oak Island mystery.